This is Julie Kedzie online here with Julie Kedzie. How's it going today, Julie?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. You are coming back from a shoulder injury. You have a fight coming up in a little over a month. Can you talk to us about the rehab that you went through for your shoulder?
Sure. Okay, so I injured my shoulder during the Nisha Tate fight, and it turned out that it was a 300-degree tear in my labrum, so it was torn almost all the way around. The only thing that prevented it from going like all the way through was that I have this weird thing called the Buford complex, which is some kind of thickened tendon or something. I don't know. It was the only thing holding my shoulder together. So it was a pretty intense surgery. I had 8 anchors put into my arm. I wasn't able to do anything for the longest time. Like moving around was horrible, sleeping was horrible, everything was hard. By the way, my dog is tugging on. I snuck her into the gym. Don't tell anyone. She's not allowed in this part of the gym. Yeah, it was an intense process. You know, it sucked for a rehab. I hope I never have to go through that again. But it definitely heightened my, I guess my skills in terms of coaching and seeing a bigger picture with some of the other girls in the gym, and you know. It gave me a new perspective on trainings, but I'm very happy to be back in competition, and I am really, really eager to fight.
Awesome. So is it 100% and you are training 100% right now?
Yeah, I'm back to training 100%. I had a really good surgeon and really good physical therapy, and right now it's a matter of getting my whole body back and running. And I'm a little older now, so it's taking a little bit longer, but yeah. It should be good. I should be raring to go pretty soon. Stop. Come back. Sorry.
No problem. So your opponent coming up here on UFC on Fox, end of July, she is pretty much known for her striking and kickboxing. How do you plan to manage that?
Well, I mean, you always want to fight the best, and given the accomplishments that Jermaine has had in her field of Muay Thai and kickboxing, it's a lot like fighting somebody of Ronda Rousey's stature or of Holly Holm's stature, just in the particular field she was in. I mean, she was undefeated in kickboxing. She was incredible. You know, won all sorts of titles, you know, just did really, really amazing things for women when it comes to kickboxing, and she's somebody I looked up to when I was doing strictly kickboxing. At this point in MMA, you know, MMA has always been sort of where I excel the most, like the actual sport of MMA, not one particular part of it. So, you know, I don't think she's going to be unprepared for that. You know, she strikes me as somebody who's very, very professional, and she trains with an incredible team at AKA Bob Cook and Javier Mendez. Those guys are just really, really good coaches. So I'm kind of expecting her to come at me with everything. And I don't think it's going to be so much as me handling what she throws at me as so much as me implementing, you know, my own game plan and me just fighting. I would love to knock her out. What an accomplishment that would be, you know, to knock out somebody who's knocked out almost everybody in front of her. That'd be pretty incredible. Very cool,
very cool. I know all your fans are definitely itching for you to get back into action and make your debut in the octagon. Speaking of your fans, we asked some of them to send in some questions, and you agreed to go through and answer some of them for us. So we'll start off with a question about some up and coming talent in your division. Is there any new people in the 135-pound division that you think, maybe they don't have a whole lot of experience, but because of their style, you might be interested in fighting them just because you think it would be a fun fight?
Well, I think most of the talent at 135 that's been signed to the UFC, actually all of the talent at 135 in the UFC, I want to face. I mean, I think they're all really, really incredible, and there's a lot of women that I haven't fought yet. So that's kind of my criteria when it comes to a new opponent. Are they somebody that I haven't fought yet? Because I like that a lot. You know, there's a couple rematches I'm definitely gunning for in my weight class. But honestly, what I've seen from the Invicta bantamweight division and the UFC bantamweight division, it's everybody in there has the potential to kick my ass, and I think that I have the potential to beat all of them as well. So there's not one particular person that I have my eye on besides my opponent in front of me right now. And we'll just see what happens. But there's so much talent. I mean, the girls are rocking it right now. They're all incredible right now.
Thank you. Next question got sent in. This person is curious if women are allowed to wear protective cups.
I have actually worn protective cups in certain kickboxing rules back when I was a kickboxer like 8-9 years ago, when they were required, but I think no. No, we don't have to wear them, and I wouldn't, so that's just me. Yeah.
Thanks. So this next question, fan wants to know what your normal walk-around weight is when you're not training for a fight.
Well, since my surgery, it's a little bit higher than it usually was. My body fat definitely increased since my surgery. It was kind of impossible to do most of the things that I was usually doing. But normally I walk between 145 and 148. I'm a lot heavier these days. I'm not going to tell you how heavy I am. But it's coming off, and I'm trying to replace it with muscle at this point. You know, it's but yeah, I'd say 145 to 148 is normal for me for a walk around.
Thanks. Next question. One of your fans wants to know what your ethnic background is.
My mother is Irish and my father is Polish. Or their parents were, I should say. They're both Americans, and my grandparents are Americans as well. But yeah, ethnically, I'd say like basically a bunch of peasants from Europe, picking potatoes. Like that's my ethnic heritage. I don't think I have any kings and queens or anything in my background. We're a bunch of peasant stock. Used to dropping babies in the fields and keeping on with the picking.
Thanks, Julie.
Yeah.
Last question here. This fan wants to know if you're going to continue calling Invicta fights and if you plan on moving into broadcasting after your MMA career.
I'm going to keep calling Invicta fights as long as they'll let me. I really, really appreciate that organization. I think they're doing amazing things for women in the sport and for the sport in general. They're providing a completely different avenue for the fans. They're providing these amazing opportunities for all these female fighters coming up, not just in one weight class but in multiple weight classes, and they're producing just championship level fights. They're incredible. So yeah, I want to continue with Invicta as long as they'll have me. And in terms of broadcasting, that's definitely something I want to pursue in the future. I have to take out some of the ums and some of the unprofessionalism that I have with the way I speak. I'm trying to get a little bit more polished as I go. But yeah, broadcasting and MMA, I didn't think it would be a viable option for me, but it seems like I've been given some, really amazing opportunities, and I hope to take advantage of that and be the best at it someday.
Awesome. Before we let you go, are there any sponsors that you'd like to thank?
Sponsor me. Please sponsor me. I always say thank you to Century. They've been an incredible sponsor for our gym. They've been really, really good things for Jackson's, Winklejohn, and I really like them. I think they're a great company. And they give me gear, which I appreciate. But I really don't have any major sponsors right now. So get out your wallets, companies. Come on. Pony up, I'm awesome. And we'll see what happens.
If someone's interested in sponsoring you, who should they contact?
If you want to sponsor me, you would get in touch with Ricky Cottonsteady. He's my manager now, and he's with Team Dynami Sports. I hope I got that right. I mispronounce it all the time. It's a brand new company. Ricky's been a very good friend of mine for years, and he's the general manager of Jackson's, and now he's taken on my management. And so, Team Dynami Sports, and you get in touch with Ricky Cottonsteady. So call Ricky up, 505-304-1790. Tell him you want to give me money. It'd be awesome. This is my girl, Bailey. She's my first dog, and she's the greatest thing that ever lived. Look over there, man. Say hi. Say hi. So I just want to introduce her. She's not supposed to be in this gym. Yeah, say hi. Yeah.